Welcome to Adventures with Gramma Bonnie. I'm so happy to see you or see that you're watching me. It's been quite a while since I've recorded, and I hope everyone's been having a great day. Watch me all the way through. You never know what I'm going to say. I've got a story for you, and it's an original story about me and part of my life up in the mountains of San Bernardino. We lived in a little village called Running Springs. It was just one of those quaint places that you dream of. Heavy snow in the winter, bright sunshine in the summer. We lived up there for almost 20 years and raised our family. Well, I went into business in Running Springs, and it was so exciting. It was called Grumpy's Bakery and Deli. Now, what does that sound like to you? Sounds yummy to me. We made all kinds of incredible goodies, eclairs and donuts and cakes and pies, and we catered and we sold ice cream and fried chicken and made the best sandwiches you could find on the mountain. We made every kind of bread you could imagine: artisan bread, squaw bread, sheep herders. We were actually quite famous for our area, and people from all over would drive up the mountain, and their go-to stop would have been Grumpy's Bakery and Deli in Running Springs. Grumpy's Bakery and Deli was located right smack dab in the middle of that village, surrounded by tall pine trees. The village had all kinds of little shops in it, ones you'd love to go and poke around in. I'm going to share with you the poem my mother wrote. I will read that poem a little bit later, but right now I wanted to tell you about the illustration that the poem has. It was done by a very famous artist, and his name was Mike Hodgson. He was an Emmy Award winning cartoonist, I would say, and he was in the Marine Corps and did a comic book for about, I don't know, 7 years, and it was called With Sergeant Mike. And it was very popular with the soldiers, and I'm sure he helped kind of alleviate some of the pressure during that very, very, very violent time in our history. He was the original illustrator of Grumpy. I had him draw the figure. I have some of his other work as well. All the information about Mike, if you want to see who he is, maybe look in his gallery. He worked for many, many of the companies that you all know. I can't even begin to tell you how busy he was and successful. Don't forget to share with a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Oh my goodness, if you subscribe, you can find me so easy, it just pops up. And we do put out occasionally things that you might not think you were interested in, but when you hear a poem or a storybook, you know that it's pretty original, or I will tell you it was illustrated by or written by. I had a lot of people that worked for me on and off through the years. It was something that I always wanted to do, and I'm so glad I had that experience because I met the most magnificent people. But when you hear the poem, and if you just heard it, you will understand the essence of why I wanted to do Grumpy's. I would like to introduce you to some of the merchandise. We sold it at Grumpy's many years ago. And here you see over my shoulder is a jacket that says, "You'll really love our buns." Now you see what kind of entertainment we had. One year or 2 years in a row, we had a coloring contest that the kids had to, we printed up pages of, they had to color them. They'd come in, they'd get the color page, and they'd color it and then come back and we'd hang it up. And we gave out the best prizes. I mean, we're talking bicycles and skateboards, and the whole community loved it. Many times we had customers that were so regular, you knew what they wanted. We had breakfast sandwiches and gringo burritos, which were pastrami, flour tortillas, cheese. Oh gosh, I don't remember, but they were very popular. Can you believe that? Hot pastrami on a flour tortilla? Anyway, I just kept going and going and going. We were well known for this excellent bread, onion, cheese, croissants, but I never baked any of it. I have never baked a loaf of bread, but I was fortunate enough to be taken under the wing of a couple of very popular bakers. One, her name was Jo Duran, and she actually started the Grumpy, well, it was called Mountain Maid Bakery in Running Springs 20 years before I came by. But she came knocking on my door at age 72 and said she wanted to help. Could she have a little part-time job there? And let me tell you, her work ethics were so impressive. We, for the community, had a stone soup gathering where everyone in the community that wanted to participate brought in something to put in the soup pot. And we put it all together. We made stone soup. There's a picture of her placing a stone in it, and her hands and arms are so thin and old. You can't, it's just really impressive to think she went to work 3-4 days a week. That stone soup was given out free, and hot bread. Everyone that wanted hot soup on that winter day would come in and get soup and bread free. It was just a fun community activity. Hi, I'm now going to read The Legend of Grumpy, written by Eva Roston, my mom. The Legend of Grumpy. You've all heard the story of Grumpy, who lived in a forest green. He really was only hungry, even though he seemed quite mean. He'd fetch the herbs and grasses. They had to be just right. He'd stew and stir and slowly cook far into the night. One day his soup spilled over. It ran right down the slope. Grumpy followed close behind, feeling like a dope. The stream of soup stopped suddenly in front of an eating place. Grumpy looked inside and saw a lady with a kindly face. "Could you use my soup? It's very good. I'll make it fresh each day." The lady smiled and said she would, and Grumpy decided to stay. Written with love by Grumpy's grandma, Eva Roston. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Thumbs up. Subscribe.